right, guys, we are live. So I decided to pop the camera open because I was training, and I had made a video talking about the difference. I made a video on why martial arts, certain of these 1, 2, 3 ABC movements don't work, and there was a lot of debate over it. And I want to explain the difference between memorized movements, right, and technique. Okay, so I think that's yeah, the difference between memorized movements. I think that's what I called it. What did I call it? I can't even remember. Hey, what's up? Yeah, so the difference between muscle memory and memorized movements. That's what I wanted to talk about. So I just finished my workout and I was training alone, and I went back to that video, and a lot of people were kind of bashing me, but I think people didn't get what I was teaching, and I'm gonna explain the difference. But before I do, guys, go visit my brand new website, Drossos.com. I have right now on the website 24 lessons, 12 psychology and awareness, 12 common attacks. There's 12 ground fighting and 12 scenarios going in there. I have 7 brand new fight analysis, 10 minutes long, from brutal knife attack to hair pulling to common attacks. I had to put them on Vimeo because YouTube has flagged them, so I can't do any more fight analysis. As well as I have all my seminars. So my 3-hour women's self-defense seminar, my seminar in Vienna, my seminar in Greece, my knife defense seminar, as well as a section for women, and 10 fitness videos, a combination of boxing, kickboxing, and self-defense with weights. So I have that and a meal plan. So all that is for less than 30 cents a day, guys. So it's $9 a month for all the content. Plus, I'm gonna be adding new content regularly. So go check that out at nickdrossos.com. The lessons are broken down step by step. I'm really going into detail on how your footwork should be placed, and the lessons follow. So you're not learning how to like strike before you have proper footwork and understand grounding. So go check that out, nickdrossos.com. We have a promo till July 1st. So it's $108 for 12-month membership, and then it's gonna go to $197 as of July 1st. So go check that out. So let me explain the difference now. The difference between muscle memory and memorized techniques. So muscle memory is when I'm shadow boxing and I'm shadow fighting. This is muscle memory. And what does that mean? That means I'm programming my body and mostly my mind, because it all starts here, right? The circuits are happening up here, and then it's going into the body, right? So I'm going slow and I'm practicing my elbows, my strikes, my knees. I'm doing shadow boxing, shadow fighting, scenarios. So I'm doing that. That is memorized. That is memorized movement, okay? So I'm working my body I'm programming my body into certain motions and movements. Now, the difference between memorized techniques is when you train and you go 1 and the attacker doesn't move, and you go 2 and 3 and 4. The idea is that you're gonna do this 100 times and that your body will do this. So that you're gonna go 1, 2, and 3, and your body's naturally gonna go through 3, 4 steps. That will happen. But guess what? That guy's flinching. You might have a 2 to 3 second leeway if you go preemptive. You might have a 2 or 3 second leeway because you're, let's say, super fast and you're ready to do that strike, and your body might be able to really throw those strikes quickly because you've trained. But after 2 or 3 seconds, your attacker will react. He's either gonna clinch you, push back, try to punch you, pull a weapon. So the idea that I'm gonna train an ABC 1, 2, 3 and program it and then say, well, it's muscle memory. It's not muscle memory, right? These are memorized techniques. So you're thinking by, okay, I'm gonna train them so many times that they're gonna be ingrained in my body. But here's the big difference, is that other person you're fighting, you don't know how he's gonna react. You don't know how he's gonna move. You don't know how he's gonna flinch. It would be like an MMA fighter going into the cage and saying, okay, I'm gonna start the fight, I'm gonna go 1, 2, I'm gonna elbow, then I'm gonna go for a takedown. Once I go for the takedown, then he's gonna go 1, and it doesn't work like that. You train all your tools, you go in, you train your tools, you spar, or if it's self-defense, you do scenarios over and over again, and then anything happens, right? That means your body is gonna throw the strike it needs at that very moment. The attacker's not gonna sit there with the knife and let you go 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can train that till your face turns fucking blue. Unless that guy reacts just like that, unless every guy that you were to fight with reacted exactly that way, which is impossible, then you're not learning anything. You're learning how to fight a dummy. You're learning how to fight somebody who's static. You're learning somebody who's role-playing with you. You're learning choreography. So, and the greatest example I can give you, I always tell people, you can never fight the same fight twice. So you can never fight you can never fight the same fight twice, right? So the idea, if I put on a helmet with you, if I put on a helmet and I said we're gonna do a full-out scenario, we'll do the same scenario 5 times and you're gonna get a different outcome every time. Unless every person reacts exactly that same way, which again are slim to none. So, Nick, do I smoke? No, man. Do I look like I smoke? I'm 42 years old, man. Fucking healthy. I do drink because I'm Greek. I love my wine. So, the difference is this, right? Now I got like all mixed up myself. So, learning how to, strike and fight and spar versus memorize techniques which require a pattern, a sequence, your attacker to react exactly that same way you've trained. Like I said again, I'm repeating, even if you've done it 100 times over and over, the instant that your fight, because that's what it is, depends as well on the other person's reaction, it's unrealistic. Now, if you're training in martial arts, with those techniques, like I said, you might have a 2 or 3 second leeway where you trap and do 1 strike. But the idea that you're gonna do 5 strikes in a row and take him down and pull out the knife and take the knife, if you train like that, can you train MMA on yourself without a bag? If you train like that, you're gonna get killed. Thanks, man. You're gonna get killed in the street. So if you're training self-defense, practice your strikes. If you don't have anybody, practice your elbows, practice on a bag, all your strikes, shadow box, shadow fight, put on a weight vest, make it as hard as you can. Train and visualize things that you can do. Then if you really want to experience some self-defense, put on a helmet and go full out. Or do some realistic drills. So when I'm doing knife defense, what I tell people is like, here's a marker. Keep slashing me with this marker to see the cuts until I trap it. Now the first time it's going to take you 5 minutes maybe, or 4 minutes. Then the idea is you take 3, 2, 1, and then you can trap it in seconds. And as well, your body's going to learn how to fight in real movement, in real speed. Okay? So anytime, again, if you have a sequence, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, I go 1, he does 2, I do 3, you know it's unrealistic. So I hope I answered this. What about military system self-defense? Now, great question. See, here's the thing, guys. When I look at a self-defense video, it doesn't mean because you're wearing a fucking commando mask and you're like this, doesn't mean the video is good. I've seen some fucking garbage out there, right? Where the guy's military training and it looks more like, ballet dancing, looks like they're just throwing backflips and moving and they're going 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and the guy's falling. It doesn't look like that. Once I saw a video actually, I think it was in the UK, like Special Forces or whatever, they were doing knife defense. And I looked at it and I said, wow, this was real. They were on the ground attacking each other and the coach is like, trap here, move there, roll there. That was real. That's how I trained. When I was working in the clubs, guys, like I say, I never fought the same fight twice. There was too many variables and, a 6'4" guy and a 5'10" guy and a, 5'2" guy, sometimes one thing might work with a big guy, might not work with a small guy. And through a lot of drills and exercise, you learn how to, like, where are you from, Nick? Montreal. When you start doing a lot of training scenarios, then you start figuring out what works and what doesn't work. It's not for nothing, guys. I still work on my boxing. I still work on my boxing. I still do my kickboxing, my close quarter. You know, I'm thinking of going back and doing a little bit of jiu-jitsu just to, you know, start rolling again and experiencing like how to clinch and how to trap and strike inside. I'm always, you know, I do something, I work on it, I move on to something else, and I take little bits and pieces, but I'm continuously working at it. And again, with the purpose of everything I teach is for self-defense. How's your day been? What's the main genre to focus on? I think you got to ask yourself, why are you training? Why are you training? That's the most important thing, right? What's your purpose for training? If it's for self-defense, then train for self-defense. Make it realistic. You know, do a lot of scenarios. You know, don't neglect. You know, people ask me, Nick, what do I start with if I've never done self-defense? And, you know, there's a karate school and a taekwondo school and a jiu-jitsu and a boxing. You know what I mean? I always say, you know what? Start with boxing, base, footwork, standing, learning how to strike, how to slip, how to move. From there, you know, do some jiu-jitsu, do some Thai boxing, right? And then you can, you know, at the same time, do some self-defense. You could do krav maga as well. Krav maga has some great techniques that they teach, some great concepts, but you got to be careful too, because some instructors are watering it down and some of the stuff looks a little bit theatrical, and I can tell right away when it's realistic or not. It really depends on the instructor. Some Krav Maga that I've seen is better than others, but this is where you got to walk in and you're going to be like, okay, how realistic is this? You know, again, and don't neglect, you can't learn how to fight unless you fight. You gotta experience some contact so you don't freeze and panic in the street. And 220 pounds, if I'm thinking of doing some of the competitive mixed martial arts or something, should I? Don't know. Look, I love MMA. The good thing about MMA, guys, it's like a shortcut. You're working on your boxing, your Thai boxing, your jiu-jitsu, your striking, your footwork, so much stuff. Now, you're not gonna Thai box a guy with a knife. Right? You're not going to Thai box, a guy, multiple attackers. You have to understand how to set them up, understand psychology, understand how to how to trap a knife in close quarter. But again, there's great elements and tools that you get. So that's pretty much it, you know. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go visit my website, nickdrossos.com. If you guys have any questions, what to avoid injuries during MMA. What are to do avoid injuries? That's the thing, right? When you're doing MMA, guys, anything could happen. You know what I mean? You're fighting with these little gloves. You step into the punch. You fall wrong. You get hit in the ribs. You know what I mean? Anything can happen. The John Wick episode, we're looking at them coming out tomorrow. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think before the movie, or Friday the movie comes out. We did an improvised weapons. We did takedowns, knife and gun. So I put a little bit my own flair in there, my own thing in the John Wick. A little bit of my own training in there. Ramadan Mubarak. I can't wait, my man. Your content has been amazing so far. Thank you guys. Look, guys, you know what? It's been kind of hard because YouTube has kind of shadow banned my channel. I've seen the views go down, but I love what I do and I'm gonna keep doing it. So as well, guys, like again, now I gotta go and finish a little bit on my training. And guys, go visit my website, nickdrossos.com. Click the link in the description. I want to thank you guys for watching. What a chain? Oh, it's the same way as a belt. All right, guys, I'm out.